Shout out to you guys, and shout out to Cam Newton and his podcast. He's going to have Ace Metaphor on his show, and the topic of careers and cheating came up, and which career cheats the most. Now, what was interesting is I've already watched this video, but what was interesting is the response in the comment section, which I won't probably show you, but most of it was nurses coping and saying, but all professions cheat. Yes, we know all professions cheat. They're just saying they cheat the most. But let's hear them kind of dive into it. And also, we know Ace Metaphor's a scam artist. We already know Spare Me. Fair use.
I saw a statistic that doctors and nurses lead that community of people who cheat on their partner the most.
Oh, no.
Yes, and this could actually be brought up. Nurses, in fact, they said that nurses are like 10 times more likely to cheat than male like they said female nurses are more likely to cheat more than male athletes and entertainers. Now that's wild. That's wild.
For sure. Flight attendants too. For sure. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. When I was a nurse, I was single at the time. Slanging. What? Whole hospital. You know, the slickest thing I've ever been a part of, and I don't do that no more.
But yeah, when it comes to male nurses are also suspect as well. But I've already done a video about 2 or 3 years ago talking about the male professions and what they do. So, but the problem is kind of on waste. That's me wasting time, because those professions that I listed, those are the professions that women like are chasing for. It's almost like the when we talk about, quote unquote grape culture, right? Which is a lie. But if we take it on its face, who are the people that get accused of this on college campuses the most? It's the athletes, the frat boys, and whoever's the most popular person on campus. And alcohol is involved 90% of the time. But these are the people and the things that women tend to gravitate to once they go into college. So it's kind of on it's you know what I mean? They go out their way to be around those guys. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like why I don't even really want to go into what about the males in their professions that they do it? I did it. I did it out of a courtesy 3 years ago, and I kind of just left it alone. There's a lot of dudes on here giving hoes free game, but they just don't want to listen. So it's kind of on, wasted breath.
Retire. I'm a former, not a current. Okay. I'm not no more. But back in the day, this how slick women are. You know when they be like, men cheat more than women? That's debatable. We get caught more than women do. Yeah. Now, I don't know the statistics, but I imagine women. The reason why, this one woman that I was kicking it with at the hospital, she had
like when you say kicking, you're talking about knocking boots.
Kicking it with. Yeah. She was so slick. She sent me the grocery list of what she needed, because she was going to tell her man she was going to the store. So she had about a good 40 minutes of being at the store.
So you already see where he's going with this. This is a very common tactic that, women have. I've witnessed, women use all types of, tactics, similar to this. That's not something just, privy to just female nurses. This is a very common tactic. They brag about this too, by the way.
So she gave me the grocery list so I can get what's needed at the store. She came to my crib instead of the store, and she got the 40 minutes. She paid for the groceries though. I'm gonna need that grocery money. I'm gonna need that grocery money. So I got the grocery money, but that's why, like, that's true. That's true about the hospital. That's true. Unequivocally true.
It is what it is. But I want you to pay attention to something real quick. I want you to pay attention to something. Because you know what? Since I got some time, I will show you the comments. And the copium. Right there, watch this. Am I tripping? Or does it seem like he goes out of his way to try to prove that all men cheat to justify his own shortcomings? Bruh. And by the way, when they were talking about professions, they wasn't even talking about women specifically. They were just talking about in general, which is men and women. But I will go. I will dive into, since this is a men's center channel. I will dive into the careers and professions where you're going to see a lot of female cheaters or thottery. You know, right? But in this case, they were just talking about professions in general, which I can definitely. I think I could do something with that too. I can definitely do something with that too. Anyways, another one. It has zero to do with your occupation and everything to do with your moral compasses. Are these people nurses? They have to be. They definitely have to be nurses. Because I saw like a lot of nurses in the comment section, or people that were, or that had moms that was that, you know, in that field. Now they're saying put a tariff on podcast equipment ASAP. So just because Ace Metaphor said his testimony about what it's like being a nurse, and just in general, he didn't even say male or female. He just said just a nurse in general. This is the stuff that they do. Somebody said, why can't people just be single instead of cheating? Like, go to hell. And this is the thing. I like this comment because what a lot of people don't understand, it's not really the single people that's causing the most havoc in these, when it comes to sexual relationships in the workplace. It's mostly married people and people in long-term relationships that are doing most of the sex in these workplaces. So we can go on and on and on about that, but I just wanted to show you there's a lot of nurses in the comment section. You even see in the next comment says, I'm a nurse and I don't cheat. Then she's probably lying. And second of all, if that is true, that's rare. That's very rare, right? And then somebody said the women in the comments hate to hear the blood clot truth. This is facts. But now let's go to me, right? So I will tell you my top 10, you know, professions of female cheaters. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. And obviously we're going to exclude, you know, bottle service girls, you know what I mean, strippers, the obviously stay away from OnlyFans workers. They do the most. That's literally their job. So we're not gonna do no strippers, right? Obviously, no strippers, no bottle service girls. We're talking about real life occupations, right? So, right, we got number 10, bartenders, aka or baristas, right? Number 9, therapists. So remember, we're covering the professions where you're going to see a lot of women in professions where there's a lot of cheating, right? Or a lot of thottery. So if you're a man and you don't want a woman that cheats, you probably might have to watch out if she works in any of these professions. All right, let's do another review again. Number 10, bartenders, self-explanatory. Number 9, therapists, and really therapy of any kind. So she's a masseuse. I mean, massage therapy. I mean, need I go on? Right. Number 8, if she's a realtor, right? Like, this should be very self-explanatory. I've already explained these things in depth a long time ago, right? Number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Was it 10, 9, 8? Yeah. So number 7, military, right? If she's in the military, that's pretty self-explanatory. We don't call them, barracks bunnies for like if you have a spouse in the military, they're going to cheat. I don't know about male or female, but definitely if you have a wife that's in the military, it's just going to happen. I'm sorry. Like, if you have a man in the military, yeah, he might cheat. It's a good chance, but because of the man to woman ratio, it's a good chance that he might not. But if you have a wife in the military, that's just going to happen. You just got to prepare for it. All right. Number 6, we got the hairstylists and the hairdressers. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Number 5, if she's a prison guard, CO, police officer, anything in law enforcement of that kind, she's going to cheat, right? Number 4, flight attendants, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. Number 3, creatives, artists, right? Female singers, poets, painters, right? Spoken word. These people. I mean, it's just going to happen. You just got to prepare for it. All right. And number two, I have obviously the nurses, who we were talking about, right? That's pretty self-explanatory. There's just too many open spaces in the hospitals, too many beds, too many unused beds, too many places where they can cheat. It's just a free for all. It's a very stressful job. They have a non-traditional, work hours. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too obvious, right? And number one for me is the teachers. These are the professions. Now, obviously, nurses, they cheat the most, obviously, out of all of them. But the reason why I put teachers number one, in the words of the great AJ's Ranson's Reactions, at least a teacher, he said, at least a nurse will cheat on you with an adult.